Good morning, church. It is Monday morning, and we hope this video sets the tone for the rest of your week in a good way, in a great way. It is a wonderful blessing to be a citizen of God's kingdom. But I think we take that blessing for granted sometimes, simply because far too often we don't live in daily awareness that we are citizens of God's kingdom. Not citizens of Portland, not citizens of the state of Tennessee, not even citizens of America. But as Christians, we are citizens of the kingdom of the sovereign God of heaven. And that is a huge blessing. That's a fact, a reality that ought to cause us to stop and think about who we are. We're going to start in these videos taking a brief look at the Beatitudes. And this morning we're going to take a look at the very first one that Jesus gives. Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven."
And being citizens of America, we think a lot about money, but that's not actually what Jesus is talking about here. The idea of being poor in spirit, the words that are being used there connotate this idea of spiritual poverty, yes, not a financial poverty. Jesus is talking about someone who has to crouch forward like a beggar, and because everything that they need spiritually are things that they don't have, and so they have to beg for it, they have to plead for it. Jesus is describing the spiritual state of all men and women, including me and Sean, the shepherds, you watching this video, every single one of us, before we come into contact, before we receive His grace. It's a spiritual state that we have to be willing to acknowledge, that we have to realize that we were in, and if we're out of it, the only reason we're out of it is because of Jesus Christ and us coming to the foot of the cross and begging, realizing that we are spiritually bankrupt without Him. Paul puts it this way in the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verses 1 through 5. He says, "And you were dead in your trespasses and sins, in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in it, the sons of disobedience, among whom we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of the body and the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, like the rest of mankind. But God, being rich in mercy, because of the great love with which He loved us, even when we were dead in our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved."
Yes.
After reading what the Father had done for us through Jesus, we can read the words of Jesus with a lot more understanding and appreciation. When He said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven," what He's saying is, those of us who are spiritually bankrupt, we don't have to stay that way. We don't have to be a citizen like that anymore. We can be part of the kingdom of heaven through Him.
Amen. That's a wonderful, wonderful blessing. Church, we hope that you have a great Monday, and we look forward to seeing you next time we see you.
Bye.